The Achievement Gap. What is it, and what can I do as a teacher to help? The Achievement Gap is the persistent disparity in school performance between groups of students defined by socioeconomic status, race, and ethnicity. Students' performance is measured by grades, standardized tests, dropout and graduation rates, and college completion rates, among other indicators. In schools, a tracking system occurs. High-achieving students are typically placed into courses that require higher-level thinking and more access to challenging curriculum. Students in low socioeconomic classes or in minority racial groups are tracked into low classes, where curriculum is watered down. In addition, students of cultural and ethnic minorities often feel like they are excluded from their education. So the question becomes, as a teacher, what can I do to bridge the achievement gap between my students who are of varying socioeconomic and ethnic backgrounds? Culturally compatible education is one way I can do this. By taking the time to learn about my students' various backgrounds and incorporating them into my teaching, I will be able to support my students. Dismissing students' cultural and ethnic identities by implementing a curriculum that is solely in the perspective of white Americans sets up students of diverse backgrounds for failure. By using what I know about my students' cultural backgrounds, I can further develop my students' sense of personal identity, as well as help them grow in their understanding and acceptance of the cultures of others. Creating an education that meets the cultural needs of minority students will be a step towards bridging the achievement gap by making my students feel more comfortable in my classroom. Another way to support my students is by D-tracking. I can do this by offering high-track curriculum to all of my students. I will be able to support the learning needs of my students. Since students in lower socioeconomic classes are often provided with education that involves rote memorization, unengaging activities, and a lesser level of information being conveyed, I can provide a deep education to all of my students by engaging my students in educational discussions, allowing them for choice of learning activities to engage them in their education, and creating inquiry-based learning opportunities that help my students learn to think critically. A lack of resources at home and at school is a primary issue in the achievement gap. As a teacher, I cannot change the resources my students are exposed to at home. However, I can try to provide extra resources to my students at school. I can do this through providing literature, school materials, rich discussion of current events, and before and after school tutoring and homework. I think that a before and after school academic help program would be the greatest resource I could provide, because this would also address the lack of home resources that may make homework completion difficult for these students. In this way, I'd be able to bolster my students' access to resources. I hope that these ideas I have given help inspire you to want to bridge the achievement gap with your students as well. Thank you.